Hello, Scorpio. How are you? It is me, Lauren B. with Untitled Tarot. Welcome back. Welcome in. If it's your first time, we are going to do your spread this week with the good tarot, the OG, the big mama, first and foremost on this channel. We have a little bit of a lengthy message, as they are here. And I want to preface this by saying that the first kind of stack that I have, most of the cards are out in reverse. Please don't, you don't scare easy, you're a Scorpio. But some people, this is all past energy. This is explaining what's happened previously, and the end gets really, really good. So stick with me. Don't get nervous. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay, Scorpio. So the first card that you have out is you have the King of Water in reverse. So I think this is you for a period of time really feeling unable to, I don't want to say control your emotions, because I don't feel like you've been having outbursts or like anything. It almost feels like not being able to understand your emotions, why things are bothering you as much for so long kind of energy. And what I'm really interested in is his trident. There could be something with threes, trines. You could be having a trine in your chart. You might want to look into that. I'm not an astrologist by any means. But I see you here with this trident kind of like on defense, like kind of poking things, pushing things away from you, right? But then there's this little, you have your hand stretched out to this like little tiny fish over here. And its body isn't like totally formed. It doesn't like, there's so much more of this fish that you can't see than actual fish that you could grab. And it's small, right? So it's like you have this big trident like on a big defense, and you let this small little thing kind of like into the palm of your hands. It's almost the feeling of maybe in the past you've been hurt, Scorpio. I almost called you Leo. You could be dealing with Leo. You could have Leo in your chart. It is Leo season. Maybe this is popping off for you in Leo season, Scorps. But there's a sense that you've been very much on the defensive, maybe because of past hurts, disappointments, whatever it may be. And you've only been letting like small fish in. Small fish. Like it's almost like you've been keeping away the big fish. You're only letting, it's like playing small. You've been playing small in whatever aspect of your life that this is for you, whether it's business, professional, family, friends, romantic, whatever it is. But you've only been like dealing with like small fish up until now. Maybe out of a fear that perhaps you would have been like outmatched, or you couldn't handle it, or someone was gonna like knock you on your ass a little bit, right? Like you were gonna meet somebody that was gonna knock you on your ass, little too much for you, a little outmatched. So it's like you've been playing small, playing petty, playing small. Feels a little bit like a little like sort of like a vanity, like social media, superficial, like Instagram kind of like DM sliding in, like seems like that. Like you've been keeping away like big fish, so that way you could like play small, Scorps. And in doing so, you have the Ace of Air and the Ace of Earth out, right? You've been unable because you've been pushing away or on defensive against anything that looks big coming its way, something that looks serious, long-term potential for you, right? In doing so, you've been unable to have a clear, logical start to anything, right? So it's like, well, it wouldn't make sense for me to start a relationship with them, like, look how different we are, or like, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't make sense for me to go and work over here because like the figures don't add up, or just little things like that, right? And not only that, but also again, something tangible, earth energy, long-term, right? So it's like something that makes sense, and also something that could grow, and something that you could hold on to. You've been keeping that away to like play small with these little goldfish, right? However, I think you're in a position now with the Hangman in reverse and the Queen of Water, perfect pair on the board, at least of the same suits, that this is you coming out of decision, a little bit realizing that you're going to have to allow yourself to receive something bigger than you've allowed into your pool, into your river, into your lake so far, right? My money tree is moving. That tells me that it's affecting all of your flow, all of your abundance, right? Because when one thing in our life goes really well, usually like that kind of rolls over, flows into everything else, abundance, blessings, whatnot. So that is something to be mindful of. But with the playing small and the little fish, I'm looking at her crown, because he doesn't have one. That it's almost like you've collected ideas from people, ways that you approach relationships, ways that you think about yourself, feel about love, or you know, sex, relationships, flow, abundance, success, all of those things. You've collected them as like ornaments on your head. And I see you like kind of coming out of this indecision to almost like, I almost see her like walking forward and like the water kind of just like pushing all of the debris off of you, kind of like cleansing. There's like a cleansing going on for you. So that is really beautiful to see. But you have the 2 of air in reverse and you have the Ace of air in reverse. And I think this is you as you cleanse off this old cycle, old narratives that you've told yourself, that people have told you, situations, right? Really kind of coming out of indecision about that, about the fact that in playing very small, in not playing with people of the same suit, of the same caliber, right? Like kind of pearls to swine sort of thing, even though I don't love that analogy, but I can't think of a better one right now. In doing that, again, it's something that it wouldn't make sense to do it with these people. It's not something that could grow enough potential. And it's also not something that could have sustained like passion, that like you've put out your own fire a little bit and sort of being so defensive, keeping away anything, like letting anything too close to you that would actually make you vulnerable, right? So it's like you've been in a position of being on guard against that. And in doing that, nothing else that you're doing seems to be making sense, taking root, and you kind of put out your own spark a little bit, which is very unlike a Scorpio. But Scorpios know how to sit in deeper, darker waters than most. But part of Scorpio's character building lessons is learning to like come up for air, along with the other water signs, but mostly Scorpios. Like come, grab Cancer by the hand. You'll meet Pisces up there in a little bit, okay? But in doing all of that, like I said, you put out your spark a little bit, so nothing's really makes sense. And I think you're recognizing that there has been a level of impatience, right? Divine timing, orchestration, like it'll all come in divine timing. And you're like, what the does that mean? Like that it takes so long. Divine timing is so long, right? Because we don't realize until after the fact, when we see how all of the dominoes kind of fell and laid themselves out, like, oh, I did need to learn that over there. Oh yeah, I didn't really get it over here. Like, right? There's like this impatience, like I want what I want and I want it now. But life is not like an Ariana Grande song, Scorpios, and we know that now. We know that, right? So we've come out of indecision. We're coming into clarity that, yes, perhaps it's almost like a Band-Aid, right? Instead of like being patient, maybe like working on ourselves, figuring out like issues from childhood, you know, old heartbreaks, disappointments, times where we didn't feel successful, right? Really beating ourselves up about that it was kind of keeping us in place, and not realizing that we were the thing keeping ourselves in place, not just like divine timing, right? And that we, in order to get a big fish, sometimes it's like Moby Dick. It's like the old man in the sea. It's like sometimes you got to go out and you got to sit in your boat for a little while. You got to wait. You got to wait for the whales to come, right? The white whale. You got to wait for the white whale to come. But with the 5 of fires, 5 wands, her face in this card is like, It's like well, fine. It's like a really like sassy kind of energy. It's like, it's making me giggle a little bit though. But in reverse with the 2 of cups, the 2 of water in reverse, it's almost you again, coming out of this past energy, like kind of finally like releasing these energetic bonds and disappointments and these things that you've had about stuff that hasn't worked out in the past. And instead of being like, it didn't work out, and be like, well, you know what? I also was very guarded. And yes, maybe I was taken advantage of, or maybe there was something here that left me feeling less than best. But, you know, at the same time, I was also kind of impatient. I was also playing with fish that I shouldn't have been playing with. Like, I was playing kind of small when I really wanted something like more substantial, right, for myself. And like, yes, things happen to me, but also like things happen because of me too. It's a real energy of taking kind of like accountability and finding the clarity in that. And with the coal and the 7 of fire in reverse, this is telling me that you realize you kind of stalled yourself a little bit up, right? It wasn't all just spirit team. It wasn't just all like divine time and taking too long. It was like you weren't really listening to like your internal guidance, right? That it's like we got to do right by ourselves over here. We're gonna have to cut some crap out. We're gonna have to use our discernment. We're gonna have to be a little bit disciplined. We're gonna have to be patient and wait for the white whale, you know, because if we're so busy playing with these little fish, that thing's gonna swim right behind us. We're never gonna catch it in our net, right? And the 7 of fire is very much about kind of protecting what's yours, kind of like protecting your territory, that in kind of pushing everything away from you that could potentially make you feel a little vulnerable, might potentially make sense or be long-term, right? Or be like a sustained fire, something that could keep you warm through the night, right? That in doing that, it's denoted a little bit of like a lack of faith, right? Like a little hopelessness kind of energy here, that we've been a little too defensive. Maybe we kept out some stuff that like we could have let in that could have been good for us, but this is very much of like a fool energy, but we know that now. We know that now. So we're moving on. We're moving on, Scorpios. You have the King of Earth next. Now he looks tired. I don't know about you, but this man looks tired to me. And there are antlers on his crown, and antlers are very indicative of life cycles, years. I think antlers represent like, I want to say they represent like 5 years. I could be wrong, but I think they represent 5 years, and there's 2 sets of them. So that it would be 10 to 20. You might be seeing 12 a lot, 21 a lot, but it feels like this might be maybe not like necessarily just a specific person, it could be, or a specific job or people could be, but it feels like cycles, like you've gone through this cycle like for the last 10 years. It feels like, yeah, that's what it feels like. For the last decade, you've been learning these lessons, different phases, different places, but it's like the same old shit, right? And you've been sitting here, and 6 of 5, that's 6 of 1, so that's victory, and it's in reverse. And then you have temptation, which is the devil card in reverse. So it's like, moving forward, Scorpios, what we need to do is, I know you're tired of this shit, but it's almost like you're tired of your own shit a little bit too. And I've been there. I am there 3 times a week. I get postal service there, so don't worry about it. But this is you kind of realizing it's like you're too tired to like play these games anymore, play small. You're like, I just want the real thing, something tangible, right? Something that's planted, something that can grow. I'm sick of keeping myself in perpetual fall and winter. I don't want to do that more. I don't want to sit here and ruminate. I don't know if that's a word, but reminisce on, right, old failures, stuff that didn't work out in the past when we weren't victorious. And in order to do that, we're going to have to put down the temptations. We're going to have to put down the devil. We're going to have to learn patience, right? This is the card of temperance. We're going to have to learn patience. We're going to have to learn how to not go out to recess sometimes with people that we know aren't good for us. Like, invest our time, our energy, our emotions, anything into things that don't make sense for us, things that cannot take root and grow for us, things that are either going to put our fire out or things that can not sustain the heat itself, right? It's almost like a baby, like it has to be able to sustain itself outside of the womb, right? There's something in that for you. So this is what we're going to do moving forward. Is we're not going to reminisce over past heartbreaks and past mistakes and stuff that didn't work out. We're going to have to be self-disciplined a little bit and be honest with ourselves when, we realize that maybe we do want something real, something substantial here, and that's okay. It's not going to it might make you feel a little out of control, right? Because it's such a vulnerable place to kind of sit in. But that's where the most good can be done for you. Like, that's when God can work miracles for you. When you release that control and let yourself sit in a place where you're uncomfortable, because where you're uncomfortable is a place where you need the most healing and growth. Okay? So we have the 4 of air, which is 4 of swords, and we have the love card out next. Now, in this particular deck, this denotes more for me, a lot of self-love. And the 4 of swords is a card of rest, right? Kind of taking a bird's eye view, sitting up a little bit, sitting up and laying down, getting a higher perspective and like resting on it for a little bit, right? She's resting on her strength right here. This big lion. We're in Leo season, right? So as we're doing this, as we're putting down the devil, our temptations, learning to temper ourselves, make better decisions for ourselves that are in alignment with the things that we actually really do want, right? We're going to take a minute and we're going to rest in it. We're going to walk it out step by step. And we're going to work on that self-love, that self-soothing, that self-comfort in a healthy way, right? Not by playing with little fish and doing the whole thing, but in a really, really healthy way for us, because we can't give to others what we cannot give to ourselves. So if we want to be able to love others in a healthy way, we have to love ourselves in a healthy way. If we want to be able to engage with people, spend time, spend energy, whatever it may be, with others in a situation, at a job, social group, your family, community, that's your business, right? Then we also need to be able to interact with ourselves, with our higher selves, with our ego, with our shadows, with our spirit team, with God. We have to be able to do that all for ourselves first, because other people cannot pick up that slack for us, and it would be wrong of us to ask them to do that. And vice versa, it would be wrong for anyone to expect you to do that. We all have to do our own homework, right? We all get our own grades at the end of the day. So we're going to take a minute out and do that. But when we do Scorpio, again, that trine, 3, you come out as the Empress, right? solid, fertile harvests. Being able to stand on our own in our full power, right? But also be able to nurture and be soft and to produce and to protect and to do all the things for all the peeps and all the homes, all of it. And then you have it thought out by the messenger of water, because there's a message coming in for you, Scorpio, or in this time, you're going to harvest something and be able to kind of offer it as like a pentacle, right? King of Pentacles over to someone else. And Page of Water. Be able to start like a new, fresh, emotional beginning, right? And, you know, you've come out as King and Queen and Empress and all this stuff, but we'll bring out maybe a little bit of your inner child. Have a little bit more fun in this situation, at this job, with this move, with this person, right? You're going to come into your Empress energy, male or female, and you're going to be giving a little message to someone, or someone's going to be giving a little message to you, right? And it's going to have you like almost like giggling, feeling like a little kid again, like splish, splish, splashing. I was taking a bath, like, was that little Richard? Is that little Richard? I think it is. Kind of splashing around like a little kid, right? In emotions, not being able to play with your emotions, not play with other people's feelings, let other people play with yours, but like not be afraid of being in your emotional body because it's like always so dark, right? It's like bringing lightness to it, right? That's really, really nice energy. And it seems like it will be the 10 of Cups. It will be emotionally fulfilling. And with this big old Buddha, I'm getting like peaceful, like calm, like not tumultuous, not toxic, not like chaotic. I'm not hearing it's not like a rumbling, right? There isn't like a big rumbling. It's something that's going to be calming to you. And especially, I think it's going to be, more importantly, it's going to be very healing to you to come into a place when you're able to maintain emotional connection with someone and have it not be toxic and painful and disappointing, right? Because we will have at this point learned temperance. We will have learned how to fight our inner demons, the little devils that run around inside of our minds, right? It will be able to fight our baser natures, you know, that want to just go and like maybe chase tail or engage in activities that aren't good for us, right? Really being able to like grow up like in our authentic selves and really practice self-love and being able to really nurture that and grow that in another situation with someone else. And with the 9 of Cups, it's telling me that it is a wish fulfillment. Like it is what you actually want all along. It's what you've wanted the whole entire time, and it's all coming in now. So that's going to be beautiful. You just need to take like a minute out, learn that little bit of patience and temperance, and then you're going to get there. You're going to get your wish fulfillment of an emotionally fulfilling relationship. Give and take, communication, equal reciprocity in the emotional exchanges between you. And it will have you feeling, it's like a little kid with like a little crush, right? What's that song? It's just a little crush. And the beautiful thing is that it's going to take you away with this 6 of Swords, 6 of Air, King of Air, and the Moon in reverse. That it's going to take you away from feeling like you have to be so closed off, so defensive, so cold towards other people, right? This guy kind of looks like a jerk, right? Like you're not going to have to do that. You're not going to have to always put not only your armor on, your armor of love, like you're going to be able to take that off a little bit, but you're not going to have to feel so defensive against other people, like always assuming that people are out to get you, or always assuming it's just not going to work out, or always just assuming it's not going to go anywhere. Because with the Moon in reverse, it's like you know better now. You know that it doesn't have to be that, because we are not just what happens to us. You know, people always say, what's that saying? It's like, it is what it is. It's like, okay. But also, it is what you make it, right? When we can't help, we can't control other people. People are going to do what they're going to do. Some people, they take more than they give. That's just the situation. Like sometimes we get our heart broken several times over. Like sometimes we get disappointed. Sometimes we start projects, they don't work out, whatever it may be. But when we can really self-reflect and look about, okay, well, maybe I misspoke there. Like maybe I misstepped there. Like maybe I was being closed off. Maybe I was being too open. Like when we're really able to get in temperance, balance it out for ourselves, see the cause and effect of how we also participated in situations and how in doing so differently moving forward, we can create a different result for ourselves in doing that through mostly reflection, planting, it's like investment in yourself, in your own self-love, right? You're going to have all the clarity about this, that it's like, it doesn't always have to be like this, and it's not always going to be like this, because you have wish fulfillment and you have like the 10 of Cups, you have a new friend, you beat the devil. It's amazing. It's all amazing, Scorpio. So Just it's like one last little hurdle. It's like track and field. You got one last jump. You got to get over that little leg, and then you're going to be pretty smooth sailing. So don't give up hope. Put your little scorpion stinger away. Stick them back. Take a minute. Take a breath. And you'll be smooth sailing. All right, Scorpio? Thank you very much for coming with me through the journey of this reading. Everything you need will be in the description box. All the decks I use, my emails, my personals, my Insta, all my things. All my things are in there. I hope you guys are having a great start to your Scorpio, or it's Leo season. Well, you know what? I think your season's coming up after Leo's done. I don't know what's gonna happen in the sky, but it feels like you're fixing to get your white whale. So, happy hunting. I'll see you next time, Scorps. Bye.